Hi, this is 365801 and it's that time of the month again. By time of the month, I mean it's around the 20th, which is usually when me and Katie do a buddy read for the month of January in 2023. We are going to be doing Deadlock. This is a 4-volume series about someone who is in prison, which I am not the type of person who likes prison stories. I have not read or watched Banana Fish. I'm just letting you guys know that. I know it's traumatic and I know it's a bit sad. And I know it's not some, like, I think we've all been, I think everyone has been a little bit traumatized by Shawshank Redemption. It's just how we are. So I'm very much like that. As you can see, I have only 3 volumes of Deadlock. I'm still waiting on my 4th volume. It hasn't arrived yet. I was hoping it would be here by this point in time in the month, because I did order it a while ago, and I did order it along with something that was pre-order, and the pre-order has come, but the in-stock item has not. So hopefully that will arrive. So yeah, this one I already have the plastic off. I think I took it off when I was down at my parents' house, but the artwork inside looks very pretty and perfectly serviceable. So Yuto Lennox is a former investigator for the Drug Enforcement Agency who has been falsely incarcerated for killing his partner. Before he begins to serve his sentence, though, he's given an offer for an early release. Find a terrorist cult leader who has been hiding in Shelgar prison. So there you go. That's what it's about. But it does look very pretty, doesn't it? So Saki, Aida and Takashina. This is based on a novel or a novel series that was quite popular. So that's why it got a lot of like, oh yay, Deadlock, yay. And I was like, I haven't read it, so I don't know anything about it. And also it's a prison story, so I don't want to. Unfortunately, here's my sandwich. I've taken one bite out. It's morning on Friday. I don't even know what day it is. The date. I know it's a Friday. It's a Friday today. I know it's a Friday. So it's still very snowy and very cold, and I feel a little bit cooped up in the house. So I'm going to go for a walk today. So I'm going to get something to eat and I'm going to get dressed. And if I read a little bit of that, that's fine. But if not, then I'm still going to go out. I plan on going to the big charity shop, which is a bit of a walk away. It's a couple miles away. And I'm just going to walk it, even though it's all snowy. So I'll take you along and you can see the snow. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And I'm a little bit concerned. And unfortunately, as I said, I don't have the internet at the moment. And so I don't have Katie there holding my hand through the process. And I need Katie to hold my hand because I'm like, I want to read it, but I don't want to read it. So without the internet and without Katie being there to support me, I might dally on this. And I don't know, she might have raced through it already. She might be racing through it right now and I don't know. So yeah, unfortunately it is what it is. But it does look pretty. We'll see how I get. But yeah, this is my sandwich. It's toasted ham and cucumber and a wee cup of coffee. And I will probably show you some nice snowy sights. Okay, so I got back. Still a bit out of breath. It was quite a walk, and also it's very cold, and it's still quite snowy. But I have treasure. I have treasure. I found Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is the book 1, which is always good. It's in a bit of a sorry state. There's a bit of staining, and someone's obviously spilled something on it. But it's still readable, and I know that Meg from Meg with Books really enjoyed finishing the series this previous year. It's 2020 in 2022. That's a series that she enjoyed. She said that she liked the first book, but she really liked where it went afterwards. So happy to see that. I also got Beartown by Frederick Backman, and I'm not sure if it was Meg or if it was, I think it was Kayla from Books and Lala who read Beartown, because it's like a thriller mystery type thing. and I think she really liked it. So this has had quite a lot of good publicity, and I saw someone reading it and they liked it, so £1, that's not bad. I also got The Appeal, One Murder, 50 Suspects. It's a murder mystery, but through multimedia. And this, I know that Meg from Meg with Books read this one, and I'm not sure if she liked this one, but this Janice Hallett has now written 3 books, and the 3rd book Meg just was going on about. So Janice Hallett, The Appeal. I don't know if she liked this book or not, or maybe it was the Twyford Code that she didn't like, because the Twyford Code I think is the second one. But it's in pretty good nick. It just needs to be clean, and the stickers can come off, so I could always take the stickers off. And a multimedia one, so that sounds quite good actually. So another murder mystery. I keep picking them up, even though I'm not reading them, and I need to read them. The other one I got, How to Kill Your Family, which was quite a big. See, Richard Osman. I love this book. Jojo Moyes. She did the Jojo Moyes. There you go. How to Kill Your Family. It's not in the best condition, but it's still pretty good. And I saw this everywhere because Waterstones especially were doing fun displays with Prince Harry's book Spare. So they would put his book and How to Kill Your Family next to each other. Like there was a whole display. It was just these 2 books. And I haven't watched all of the interviews and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind actually. I'm eagerly awaiting what other people's opinions of the books are, but not people who write for newspapers, like actual booktubers, like real people. Booktubers are real people, because they have like more accurately normal opinions rather than someone who writes for the Guardian or the Times, because journalists are corrupt, and it's a corrupt system we live in. There you go. So How to Kill Your Family is not something that I'm interested in, but they say you can't choose your family, but you can kill them. Meet Grace Bernard, daughter, sister, serial killer. Grace has lost everything, and she will stop at nothing to get revenge. I do love a good revenge story. I love a good revenge story. I like revenge stories where, the person gets revenge. I love it. And the next one, and this is the last one, is a hardback copy of the Richard Osman book, The Man Who Died Twice, the new Thursday Murder Club mystery. So this is the second one. The third one has come out already. And I thought this might be a bit more expensive, but also this one was just £1. And it's kind of ironic because I have my little pile up at the top there of here we go, books that I've already got, And The Man Who Died Twice is there. So yeah. I when I was down at my parents', I obviously went to charity shops because I like doing that. I spent a wee morning popping around and seeing what they had, and there was some really good books in some of them, and the paperback version there was only 50p. This one is only £1, so for 50p more. And because I have the other one up the stairs in my bookshelf that's also hardback, I thought, why not just get them both, and then you can you can borrow the audiobooks from the library and read them and try them. And maybe one day I'll get the third book too. But this wasn't the only thing I picked up. I mean, otherwise it would have just been what, 1, 2, 3, 4, £5. £5, 5 books. Great. Absolutely fantastic. I don't think you could get better, especially because they're all pretty good books. Or at least I think they will be. I'll have to read them. They're going to go in my pile of my ever-expanding TBR. I have to stop going to charity shops and buying things. But the other thing was that there was a massage table, and it's the kind that I was planning on buying for full price anyway. And because I couldn't carry it back, I have to pay like a delivery fee. But it still would be less than half the price. It looks in okay condition, but not like brand new. So we'll see when I get it. I had a quick look around to see, but I just got so excited to see it. I was like, oh, and so reasonably priced. So that's going to be delivered. They said probably on Monday or Tuesday, something like that. So it's something to look forward to. I'll show you when I get it. But yeah, very, very happy. But yeah, I'm back, but I'm also very tired and hungry and kind of, I feel like something to eat and maybe a snooze actually. It was quite a trek. It was quite a trek to get there and then carry these back. And I stopped in at the petrol station and I found a giant caramel wafer. I'll show it to you in a second. Or when I'm eating it. I'll show it to you when I'm eating it. I'll put it in the cupboard and keep it for a bit. And a big bottle of Iron Brew. And I know I'm not supposed to, but I had to. So I carried that back as well. So I feel like I went out and got spoils. My spoils of war are pretty darn good actually. So a little bit of, needs to be cleaned. A wee bit of coconut oil. That's probably going to buff that up nicely. So yeah, I will put these on my little shelf. This is where I try and keep things. A little shelf of hauls. So as you can see, I've got my twittering birds there as well, which I need to read, but I'm going to say no until I have read at least these 3 volumes of Deadlock. So yeah, so that's my little haul so far. So hello, it's Saturday. Yeah, so that happened. I didn't get too far into this. I'm getting distracted by other things. I've got a cat on my windowsill at the moment meowing at me. So if you hear some meows, that's what that is. But this just arrived in the post. So I'm thinking, hopefully, yay! Volume 4. So I'm very happy about that. That means where are they? There they are. So I have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4. So I'll be able to read this series all the way to the end. Happy days. If I could actually just get started properly. I'm like, where am I? Oh, I need to get properly started. I barely got into it. I just kind of ended up falling asleep. I think it's because I'm eating things I'm not supposed to be eating. But they're in my house and I need to eat. What's a girl to do? But that's nice. A complete set. Oh, this is my first complete set of 2023. There you go. I have completed a series. Yay, completed series. So yeah, very happy with that. It's still cold. It's desperately cold. The snow, everything. So I don't know how far I'm gonna get with this. We'll see. So the next page has a foreword, which is quite unique for manga. Saki Aida goes on to say that her novel was published in 2006 by Chara Bunko, and Takashina sensei was a new illustrator and did the cover artwork. And that's 6 years later, so it must be 2012 that this first volume came out. And as I showed, this originally came out in English in February 2014. Translation Leanne Harvey. Here's all the information. So quite interesting that this was a debut artist doing the illustration work for this novel. And 2012, I do remember, I was in Japan then, so I do remember Deadlock being all the rage and everyone seemed to like it at the same time that in these words, I don't know, that one, that one, that was also being published in Japanese, and people were just in that zone for slightly darker kind of manga stories. They were really enjoying like Yakuza stories. I mean, Twittering Birds was really big as well at that point in time. So yeah, Deadlock has been around for a while. Just in case you're wondering, the cat is there. She's meowing at me. Meow, meow. But I'm going to ignore her in my comfy blanket and stay warm. Sorry, love. I gave her some ham already. She's fine. I gave her ham. But yeah, so it's Saturday. I have not done terribly much of this, but I thought I would. I was so exhausted yesterday. But yeah, so we're going to see how much I can get through of this before I get distracted. She's giving me the evil eye now. I gave you ham. Stop that. She can look super cute, and she can also look like a demon. So yeah, she's gonna get. She'll get distracted and go. So I'm gonna carry on reading this, and I'll check in with you in a bit. So, I'm already at the end of chapter 1 or mission 1, and I hate it. The Shawshank Redemption of it all. Oh, it's just so prisony. Oh, it's just there's like racial slurs and constant referral to sexual assault. My anxiety is peaking. I feel very uncomfortable. Katie, hold my hand. I don't. Yeah, I'm not going to enjoy a lot of the anxiety of this. There is a wee white boy that just came in with him, Matthew something, and Yuto is like, dude, I gotta watch my own ass. So I don't know, he's supposed to be trying to scope out someone who's like a terrorist cult leader. What if it's the white boy? What if it's the wee white boy? He's in, in on it. He's either going to be fodder or he's going to have something to do with the whole thing. That's my guess. I'm just having fun. Because I have to, because I hate it. I don't hate the artwork. It's gorgeous, but it's giving me anxiety. It's like, what was the book that I read? Eden. The Lily Mayne. I mean, she's great, but reading her works just gives me anxiety. And the second book that I read had people locked up in a facility having to like battle against each other. um so yeah, that's the same kind of thing. I'm looking out the window just now and all I can see is this one paw sticking up. She's obviously sitting on one of the bins and is cleaning herself. But she's just got one paw sticking up in the air. Anyway, I need the fluffy cuteness to be able to counteract what is going to be probably shit's gonna go down. It's 4 volumes, so you know shit's gonna happen, and I don't want it to, because I don't like this kind of stuff. Like if it's Yakuza, I kind of get it, but prison, there's nowhere to run. Ugh. Anyway, I'll carry on. Okay, so I got to the bit where he has this little flashback of being tasked to find the bad guy who's in prison, and the name of the man is Corvus. And as soon as they started describing it, I was like, are we sure it's not the warden? Because he looked dodgy AF as soon as he walked in. Plus, he's got far too much detail in his drawing. It's obvious. And his name's Warden Corning. Corvus? I mean, I'm not a genius, but, you know, I can put 2 and 2 together. It's like watching Midsummer Murders. You've got all of these character actors playing different parts, but then you've got one that's kind of a big name, and you're like, yeah, that's the person who did it, because they're the main actor. You know, they're like the special guest murderer of the week. So yeah, someone who has a name that's similar and is someone in power is probably the guy who did it, or is the cult leader. There's placing my bets. Place my bets. There you go. I'm still not really enjoying it. It's giving me anxiety. But anyway, let's guess who the bad guy is. Will it take me 4 volumes, or have I just like, honestly, as soon as the warden came in, I was like, he did it. Him. He's the bad guy. Or at least he's a bad guy. But now I'm like, oh, okay, so he is the bad guy. Great. And I've got 4 volumes to read for the main character to figure that shit out. Thanks. And I'm gonna have to go through all the emotional upheaval and turmoil of him falling in love with his cellmate and getting abused and beaten up and X, Y, and Z. Ugh. And then it's just gonna be the same person I said it was at the start. Damn it. I hope Katie's enjoying this. It is very beautiful. It's very, very pretty. Lovely artwork. But yeah. We'll see. What is it? Saki Aida. Did she did she really think we would get that? Or maybe it's a red herring. We'll see. Anyway, I'll carry on. So I managed to get to the end of volume 1. I'm super tired now. It ended in a way that you could kind of see coming, because it was for foreshadowing there, and then it had this story at the end about peas. The kind you eat, or not, as the case may be. So yeah, there's the introduction of the ladies, and they're starting to grow a little bit closer to each other. The language in here is as you would expect, so it's not particularly pleasant to hear, but it's the kind you would kind of expect to have in a prison drama. So yeah, it's like racial terminology and sexual terminology, not stuff I particularly like when it's like that, but it is what it is. So yeah, I finished volume 1. Woo! And I'm so tired. And it's so cold. I just want to go to bed. But yeah, and I don't really want to do anything. I might give it a wee bit of time though. Oh, see? Tired. I need my bed. we'll see what I can get up to. Later on. We'll see if I can get Volume 2 started. So, they delivered it. It's Monday morning. It's, this is it. It's got its wee cover on. It's got a wee pouch at the front. It's got a wee couple of scuff marks. Probably do with a wee wipe down. I haven't literally just carried it up into my wee room, and so some black, which is not what I probably would have chosen, but it's got a lot more padding than the one I've got at the moment, so very good. Hopefully I'll set it all up, but I won't do it just now, because I've got things I need to do today, and I really want to get them done. I'm feeling like I've got energy. It's, you know, very early in the morning. It's not even 9. They said they were going to deliver between 9:30 and 12. And then it was like 8:30, knock on the door. Luckily I was awake and being like, okay, they're going to come, better be ready. And then it was like, oh, they're here. So it didn't take much. It's very light actually to carry up the stairs, so it's perfectly fine. So yeah, but I have got plans to do today to do something, and I might just buy some data. I looked on EE and I can get unlimited data for 24 hours. For like £3.50 or £3.90 or something like that, which is about half of what I'm paying even by monthly anyway. But it's unlimited, so I could just use it all up. So I'm thinking that's probably what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to get distracted by this. I'm going to get online and then probably get distracted by things online. And still not read my book. But yeah. I definitely need to get it started properly. I need to get into the story. I'm not into the story, but I need to. But I'll see. Maybe I'll message Katie because I'll have data, so I'll be able to, and see what she has to say. Or see if she's messaged me. I don't know. So yeah, this is a plan for today. Get some stuff done. I need to be online to do it, so I'm really happy. It's actually quite good. It's like it's a good size, and it's in pretty good nick from the bag. If I open it up and have a look, I'm getting distracted. Okay, I've got stuff to do. I'll check in with you later. So hello, it is I'm gonna put this down. Tuesday. I did not check in. I was very busy yesterday, Monday, going through stuff on the internet. I had data. It was unlimited, so I did all the things, everything to do with the internet. I did them all. All of the things were had on the internet. This is my new cup. I got down in Aldi when I was visiting, because I don't live near an Aldi. So, and this is the giant caramel wafer I got. It's huge. It's like a caramel and a half sized. So yeah, it does feel giant. And I'm gonna have this. As you can see here, I have my books. 2 still has its plastic on. Well, they all still have the plastic on, except for 1. So I did read 1, and I still have these to read. And I don't feel too bad because I didn't do very much on Sunday. It was all still white, it was cold. All of the snow is now gone. It started to melt on Sunday, but it was still pretty chilly. And then yesterday it wasn't too bad at all. But I was very busy with all of the stuff I needed to do online and watching YouTube videos. Getting distracted by having access to things. And also uploading video. So I uploaded a haul video. This is not a haul. This is my stuff. I'll move this out of the way. It's my coffee with lovely vegan cream. This is some of the things that I brought. So I've got a couple of books that I wanted to properly read again, and some notebooks. False Memories. No touching at all. Even So, I Will Love You. I'll show you. I'll move this out of the way. There we go. So yeah, it's False Memories, Starting with a Kiss, Takumi-kun, I've seen it all, Dodama, his favourite, Crimson Spell, his favourite, Rabbit Man, Tiger Man, and then if I shimmy this over, Apple and Honey, Punch Up, Starting the Kiss, Castle Mango, Wolf Magic, Intriguing Secrets, that was good, Apple and Honey, Black Knight, After I Win, New Beginnings, Spell, Not Enough Time, Castle Mango, Good Morning. So this is what I brought back from my other collection. So I need to change in the database which collection they're in, and if I've read them or not, and I do plan to read them this year anyway, so that's part of the plan, is to read them. So I do have quite a wee stack. That was in my my suitcase, so I carried them all, and they got brought up here, which is good because I do want to read them at some point, and some of them will help with buzzwords, and some of them are just because I want to get that series done. So it does mean I've got a few series I can read. So yeah, if you see anything you're like, oh, let's do a buddy read on that. A couple of them are ones that Katie specifically said, let's do them as buddy reads. So Black Knight, Rabbit Man, Tiger Man, Voice or Noise I should say. Rabbit Man, Tiger Man, I love. And there was a kind of halfway done volume 3 when Akira Honma stopped, and now there's 4 volumes in Japan. Will we get them? Probably not. Will I have to order them from Japan? Probably, if I want to. But yeah. Anyway, it is kind of like early afternoon because I literally was up half the night working on stuff because I had internet. So I had a wee snooze, and I do think I'm gonna have to get stuck into this because I had access to the internet, so I finally was checking, and Katie has actually not been having a great weekend of it either with me. It's great. We're so in sync with each other. Unfortunately, she got a little bit ill, and that's why she's a bit behind. But for me, it's just I'm just poorly organised and cold. Not a cold, but just cold. But I'm ready to get back into this because I don't think I can. I'm gonna have to get scissors. It wasn't too bad. It does have a sense of foreboding, especially the way that the volume 1 ended. It's a bit sad that that's the case of that character, but never mind. It is what it is. But yeah, I'll carry on with Deadlock. I might eat my caramel wafer. I'm actually kind of sated by the cream, so I might keep the caramel wafer for later. I've got fish in the freezer I could probably eat. I don't want to go out. But I haven't gone out since, was it Friday or Saturday when I went? It was Friday, wasn't it? It was Friday. And so it's Tuesday today. So I haven't gone to the shop since then, and I guess that's me being a bit lazy about it, but also if I don't need to, I don't need to. I may as well just eat what I've got in the house. So I do have fish in the freezer that I could eat. Got junk, like fish fingers as well, or some fancy fish. I've got chicken, I've got sausages, I've got loads of stuff. So I could definitely have a meal without having to leave the house. And so save myself some pennies and actually eat the food I've got in my house. It's probably a better idea. But I might just curl up in my blanket like I did. That seems to be the only way to read this, is to curl up in my blanket and stay warm, and actually give this a wee read and take my coffee over. I might just do that. It's probably a good idea. Well, volume 2 is the volume where all the bad shit stuff that you know is gonna happen in a prison drama happens in the prison drama. This is the reason why I don't like these prison stories. It's the same reason I don't want to read Underground Hotel. Katie, why are you making me read this? Why are you making me read this? I don't want to read this. And I can't even text you and be like, why are you making me read this? This is awful, I hate this. And I knew I would hate it. Because it's 4 volumes long and all of the things that you know is going to happen, happens. Yeah. So, volume 2 has all of the sexual assault that you know is going to happen. And it happens. And I'm fucking pissed off now. Because I have 2 more volumes to read. I'm so angry. This is why I don't like these kind of... I don't like these. Why do they make me read these? I don't want to read every book in my collection. Surely not. Some need to be left as a mystery. Like Yakuza stories and stuff. Like, you know, some Yakuza stories are gonna have that kind of thing happen. But the realisticness, what is that? The reality of these settings and these characters and what happens makes it too emotionally damaging. It's hurtful to read these. I didn't want to. I knew I didn't want to. So yeah. It starts off terrible. It gets worse. And it ends on a horrific note. Volume 2 is absolutely appalling. Yeah, I'm not happy. Not happy. So yeah, he ends up in solitary confinement because of an incident. I don't want to ruin this for you guys. You guys can. I mean, I'm ruining it because I'm going, this is shit. Exactly what you think is gonna happen is gonna happen. And I knew that was gonna happen, even though I knew it was, and I didn't want to. And you could see what was going to happen a mile away. All of the beats in the story, I'm like, why am I reading this? I already know how it's going to end. Also, the other thing that we need to talk about is obviously, who is the bad guy? So that's the main thing. So here's the warden. What's the warden doing? Talking to Nathan? So maybe Nathan is actually the one who is, what's it called? Corvus? Because why else would the warden just be sitting there? And also, why would he be taking orders from Nathan? So obviously Nathan is being put forward as the person we're supposed to be on the lookout for. Anyway, other than all of the shitty things that happened in this volume that we knew were going to happen. So angry. Throw the book across the room. But I'm not going to. But metaphorically, just imagine it's been thrown. This book has been thrown. The other thing about it, though, is how much this is a TED Talk. There are several pages, I would say at least 10 full pages of quite heavy dialogue dedicated to discussing the incarceration, the overpopulation of incarcerated individuals within the American population and the prison system as an economic force within the American economy. There you go. It's a big section of this volume is actually dedicated towards discussing that as a social issue, and I'm here for that discussion 100%. I very much enjoyed the TED Talk. It was like, hey, reader of this story, did you know that this is the case? And I was like, yes, Volume 2. I did actually know all of that. That is not brand new information, but I'm glad you're highlighting it. And I'm glad that those who don't know that there is an absolutely huge population of imprisoned um, men and women in America, that is much more so than it necessarily needs to be. Yeah, I was aware of that. But I do enjoy that. Like, I've watched Louis Theroux doing investigations and stuff like that way back in, I don't know, like the early 2000s and stuff, when he was all over the place. But yeah, I definitely have been aware of that. And I liked that that was included in this, and maybe it's going to become um, a major point. But other than that, all of the other things about the individuals and what happens is exactly what I imagined it to be. And I'm annoyed. I don't want to read the rest of this. And I was going to film some stuff, but the clouds have come, and so it's starting to get a bit darker. Which means I should probably... I was going to film some things and then edit a video and then read the next volume tomorrow or later tonight and then finish it tomorrow. But now I'm like, I don't know, is the light good enough to film and then edit? And also I just want to snuggle up in bed and forget about the bad stuff. I feel like I need to have something good and sweet and lovely. You know, I should probably just watch some Natsume Yujincho, or Library Wars, or Chihaya Furu. You know, something sweet, sweet and lovely, something that's like a warm hug, a blanket on a cold day. That's what I need right now. I need to cleanse myself of this. Yeah. But I also don't want to, because I know I've got 2 more volumes to read, and then I'm going to feel just as icky. I do. I feel like I need to take a shower. I feel like I need to... I don't even want to flick through it. It's... Blech. Why? Why, Katie? Why? Why did you make me read this? I was perfectly happy with it just sitting in my drawer, not being read. Oh... I know. No point in it sitting there. I know, but I don't have internet and I can't text you. I'm sure you'll watch this at some point and be like, yeah. And I'm wondering if you're feeling the same. I wonder if you're having the same like feelings, like you knew this was gonna happen. You kind of thought ahead, like none of this is a surprise. So annoyed. Maybe I'll go have a shower, and a warm shower, put on some clothes and go to the shops and buy something rather than cook something, because now I'm like, I can't be bothered. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to read, and I don't want to cook. I just want to go out and I don't want to do anything at all. I don't. I'm so annoyed. Ugh. Right, I will check in when I put myself through more hell for this stupid book, stupid series. Ugh. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. So I've got good news and bad news. It's the next day. That's neither the good or the bad news. The good news is I don't feel quite so, what's the word, stabby towards this series at this precise moment in time. Because yesterday I was like, okay, you need to have your soul cleansed. Go watch something cute and sweet. And I ended up watching a couple of episodes of Sekaiichi Hatsukoi just to kind of cleanse myself and have a little bit of twinkle and silliness, and it was fine and light and lovely. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. Except it's not. So, good news is, there's some other good news. There is a new Eden Finlay book out today called Can't Say Goodbye, and it's Brady's story, and I've met Brady in other books by Eden Finlay, so I'm excited to read this one. It's a throuple story in a male romance. And so I have been looking forward to this. And also, I suppose, good news, but also bad news. I have data. I have purchased data for the next week, unlimited. I should have just done it yesterday or the day before, but I wouldn't have made any difference, because the bad news is, and the new object of my ire is the fact that once again, the second week in a row, my appointment has been cancelled, and it was cancelled like half an hour before someone was supposed to arrive, and it was like, oh, phone this number, get a new appointment. When I phoned, there was a lady on the phone and a very loud man in the background apologizing to the person on the other side. I could hear him apologizing. We are so sorry about that. And I was just like, motherfuckers. So this lady was like, oh, okay, that sounds bad. Oh, all right. Like, she didn't give a shit. And I said, like, this is the second time this has been cancelled. She said, yeah, I can see that. That's not good. I was like, no, it's not, is it? I was like, you're not helping, love. You're not helping your case. And I said, look, I have a business. I run from home. I can't make money if I don't have the internet. And she was like, oh, okay, well, I'll put a note in your notes here. I'll write down a little note to say this is the second time, don't cancel a third time. And I was like thinking, hold on, what? She's going to write a note to say don't cancel a third time? Like, it's an option? I was like, hold on, couldn't you have just generally have the notes don't cancel a first time? Because that would have helped. What do you mean? Don't, like, that's an option. Third, she got three, but the fourth time we really have to go. Like, fuck you. So yeah, they're like, it's going to be a whole week again on a Wednesday. So February, a whole month without Wi-Fi is killing me. So yeah, I'm annoyed, and my rage is so far gone now that I'm at the Cam place. I'm at the Serene Cam place, but it will not take a lot to knock me over to push me from that Cam Serene place that I've now gone to absolute rage. So I'm not sure if it's a good idea for me to leave the house, but I do also think that it's probably a good idea for me to leave my house and get some fresh air and exercise and get some fresh fruit and vegetables and, you know, restock my pantry. That would be good, because at the moment I'm living on the edge. I'm a doggy on the edge. It's just, I don't want to be like a soapbox, but I really do think there's something wrong with this country. We've literally been run into the ground by people who are just incredibly greedy, and they want to run their business completely for profit. And I'm not sure, because the last time I had an issue, I did have to wait a while to get a person out, but it was much more professionally done. It wasn't like the stop start, and it wasn't always on a Wednesday. It was like just a random day. It wasn't like, you know, it's like when the person said, oh, you could have this on Tuesday, or the person could come on Thursday after, you know, it was like a negotiation of there are times available. Whereas right now it's just like, oh, it's a Wednesday. That's all you're getting. So I'm thinking maybe TalkTalk, who's my provider, have gone some sort of weird, dodgy route that they're just like, maybe it's people's off days, you know, and they're just paying for the people who, not BT, actual BT people. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it sounds dodgy AF, and it sounds like people aren't doing their job properly. And we're still paying the price. Just the normal people who are just trying to get by. And yeah, another week now until I hopefully can see someone to get this fixed. And you know what it's going to be? It's just going to be a little switch in the box out in the street. Or it's going to be like, oh, she's plugged in here, but she should be plugged in here. Someone's changed that. And I know that's what it's going to be. And it's going to be something stupid, and the person's going to be like, oh yeah, I fixed it. And I'm like, yeah, could have done that a month ago. The easy switch could have been made a month ago. So yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed, as you could probably tell. But it does mean that I've just had to purchase data for the next week, because I can't not have email. I can't not do the things that I need to do. Which reminds me, I'm going to have to check my emails. And so hopefully I will actually get some of my planned videos done, because I was hoping that it would all be done by now and I would be able to get all the things done. And nope. So, but I have my data. I will use my data, and I will use it to the full in the next week. And hopefully next Wednesday someone will come and fix me. Fix me. Yeah. So I'm feeling less bad about this. I did log on this morning and saw that Katie had messaged me a few times saying that she was angry, but also that she was enjoying the series. I'm kind of ambivalent about it now, because I know the setting of a prison. There's going to be things utilized like sexual assault and the threat of sexual assault to heighten your emotional attachment to characters, as well as your emotional response to actions within the story, beats of the story. And I find that is very manipulative, and I'm very sensitive to that in many stories. Like if it's kind of naturally done, then it's fine. But in this kind of setting, in this kind of story, I do find that it's emotionally manipulative. And as a person who, I don't like to be around emotionally manipulative people. I don't like being emotionally manipulated. I'm very sensitive to that. So I'm very, no thanks. And that's why I tend to avoid stories like this, where I know I'm going to be emotionally manipulated. I think Killing Stalking, people always say, is like one of the dark ones. And I never felt like it was overly emotionally manipulative, because it's such a fucked up story. And there's a lot going on in it. And there's mysteries, and there's elements that you don't know. And there's a lot more going on. But with this one, it feels so fake, false, what's the word? Manufactured. So this is the manufacturing of emotional manipulation at its finest. It's very beautiful, it's lovely, but it's also the thing that makes me reject it the most, because it is the fakeness of the emotional manipulation. It's like someone who cries and then like turns around and goes, it's like... Okay, so as you can see, the plastic is off. I have read volume 3. I've got some things to say. I definitely got some things to say. I've got myself a wee cup of coffee again. The caramel still survived. I'm doing okay. And I was pushed to the limit. And then I was pushed over the limit. I felt the rage. I'm sorry to say I did feel massively the rage when I started this book. I did say I'm a donkey on the edge. Well, the donkey definitely got pushed over the edge. When I got this book, I was like, do I want to sit there and do the whole blah 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 blah, da da da? Oh, nice image, very pleasant. And then I got to this page, and that's when I got pushed over the edge. Okay, so I just need to, because I like to do this. I like to check first of all the date, August 2022. This is fairly new. And then I checked the translator, and I was like, Ailey Brotherton. And I thought, hold on, I don't think that's the same translator for either of these. So we've got Leanne Harvey. Here it is. Lettering, editor, graphic design, Japan relations, licensing, editor-in-chief, publisher. Okay? That's what it's usually like. Okay? Then we've got volume 2. Volume 2. Nice image. We've also got, it's quite difficult to see and it won't focus properly. There you go, August 2020. And it was Ailey Brotherton. I was like, oh, okay, so she did do this one. And then I didn't even notice this with the second one. It's the same. Oh dear. I need to check any books that have been published since the 20s. I'm like, what? So it's the same one and I didn't notice it with volume 2. It was this one that I was like, what? This is what really got me. Editor, Yuto. And I was like, Yuto? Like Madonna? Like Rihanna? And then I remembered Meg Ryan in You've Got Mail. And when she's complaining, like, just call me Joe. Just call me Joe. What are you? You know, one of those 20-year-old cocktail waitresses? Don't you know you're supposed to have a last name? Just call me Kimberly. I was like, Yuto. And that's when I saw JF. And then this absolute abomination. So when I say fuck off, and when you get off, just keep on fucking until you are so far off that you can't fuck off anymore. Like, that's how much. Like that lady who said, climb to the top of shut the fuck up mountain. That kind of thing. Mr. H. Fuck you. Honestly, I was so mad. I was so mad when I saw that. Fuck you, Mr. H. You're a 50 goddamn fucking year old man. Like, you are. You've been around the block long enough to not have Mr. H. Your name is fucking Hikaru, okay? Hikaru Sasahara. Fuck you. Have some goddamn self-respect. You own a publishing business. Use your goddamn fucking name. Jesus Christ. Seriously, you know, as someone who is purchasing these things, I want them to take this industry seriously. And Hikaru, you're a dick, okay? You're a fucking douchebag. You're a fucking 50-year-old Japanese man. Get over your fucking self, Mr. H. Jesus Christ. I was so angry and I was like, it literally going through all of these and going like, I'm closer to the edge. I'm closer to the edge. And then I saw Mr. H and I was like, I'm over the edge. It was so mad. Does anyone else agree with me that they should have respect for this industry, that people put money in their pockets for a product? We'd like a product that is properly professionally created, that people are recompensed appropriately, and that people actually, you know, take some respect for their work. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so I was there, then I turned the page, and here, and you're like, and there's more. So here I was like, oh, okay, so technically it's been a couple of years. It's been a few years since Deadlock Volume 1, and obviously they've printed more, right? They printed more copies of Volume 1 and 2 for the people who didn't pick it up the first time, and now Volume 3 and 4 are out, so they've obviously printed more, right? Right? I don't know. If you weren't able to pick up a Volume 1 and 2, I think you should be able to pick one up now. I know that they have. Anyway, I thought this is actually quite clever. It's good to have that sort of, making people more aware. Oh, okay, just in case. And I read the first thing, and then I got to this one. And this is what pushed me over the edge. Yuto cellmate. And I was like, oh, that's not good. He popular. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Every single one on this page is a Yuto apostrophe double space S. Every single apostrophe S has a double space in it. And I was like, oh, you can be unprofessional all you like, but you fuck up formatting at your fucking peril. And I swear, I mean, yeah, I swear a lot. I'm Scottish. So yes, of course I swear. But I swear to God, I was so mad at the formatting. I can't not look at that and go, what a fucking, I mean, and so I was like, okay, who did it? Whose head should roll? Unfortunately, it's probably Anna Vigara, or I don't know, did they do something with the production? Certainly fucking Mr. H head should roll. That's the unprofessionalism right there, people. Okay. Okay, now shoulders. I've got some food on in the oven. I'm gonna be fed. My blood sugars will return. Anyway, when I got here, I was laughing at the Dick Burnford again, just because I don't think I filmed it, but before I started filming, I did have a wee quick read through of the back, because I was like, oh, maybe it's not, maybe it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. It's exactly what I think it's going to be. But when I got to hear like Dick Burnford, and I just laughed my ass off, because I was like, Dick Burnford is such a fake ass name. But it's such an obviously fake ass name. Like a Japanese, I kind of was sad because I thought, oh, this poor Japanese person, Saki Aida, who I don't care for at this moment in time. I do not care for you. She obviously was like, oh, I need to get an English speaking sounding name, and I'll find some. And so she just made up Dick Burnford. And I was like, when I saw that, I thought, what a fake English name, because no one would be called Dick Burnford. And then I had to check. I was like, no, okay, let's do a Google search. Let's find some LinkedIn person who's got the name Dick Burnford. There is a Dick Burnford. He lives in Cambridgeshire, and he's the type of man who puts his children's wedding or engagement announcements in the Telegraph. So fuck you, Dick Burnford. Anyone who's in America is like, what kind of person is that? Like a Republican, but like the worst kind of Republicans. Because if you're Dr. and Mrs., if you put down Dr. and Mrs. Dick Burnford, or Dr. and Mrs. Richard Burnford, like Mrs. Richard Burnford, does she not have a fucking name? In the Telegraph, which is such a Tory paper. Oh my god, it's such a Tory paper. Ugh. And your child's engagement announcement. Oh, it's the worst type of person. I didn't know there was a real Dick Burnford, and he's awful. Anyway, I kind of feel vindicated for laughing my ass off at that, because of what happens in Volume 3. And I can't talk about it, but because I don't want to spoil things. But this story is in one way progressing exactly the way I thought it was going to go, and another way it's progressing not the way I thought it was going to go, except for my subconscious, which is also screaming, see, I told you. I'm like, you kind of did. You kind of did. So yeah, this is kind of screaming the way I thought it was. It gives me shades of, this is maybe a hint too far, a spoiler too far, Border. It's giving me Border vibes. If you've read Border, which is not a bad thing because I quite like Border, I wish we could get the rest of it, thanks. We've only got up until volume 5, but I think there's 7 volumes. You know, as usual, we're going to just not print those last couple of volumes for you. This is the unprofessionalism. But yeah, so this is going the way I thought it was going to go. It's exactly what I thought was going to happen is happening, and then something happened that wasn't. So there's a little bit of like, ooh, that's interesting, but also I kind of suspected. But yeah, I laid my my cards on the table for Katie. I feel justified in what I said. So ha ha ha. But I'm not going to say that to Katie, because she might not have read volume 3 yet, and there might be some twists and turns still to come. So she might be proven correct in that as well. So yeah. I am going to have something to eat, and I'm going to have a wash and put on some nice clothes, and I'm going to go to the shops later on this evening just to get out the house in the cold and the dark. I think I'm not quite ready to leave the house yet, and I want to have something to eat first before I go, because if you go to the shops when you're hungry, you just buy everything, and you don't need to buy everything. You just need to buy the things you need to buy. And I have like a couple of things that I want to buy on my list, and if I go before I have something to eat, then I won't. The big thing is there's a difference here. As you can see, I wanted to point it out. Here we have the new June from Mr. H, fuck's sake, without the extra. No identifiers except on the spine here and on the back. That this is a yaoi title. They've got rid of this, you know, extra cover art detail that let you know who was printing it. So the artwork on the front is slightly different. As you can see, these two previously, and these are the two newer ones. Since Twittering Birds, I think. Since Twittering Birds, I don't know what other ones, like the new one that came out on Only the Flower Knows, that one. Yeah, so these are the last year, maybe year and a half's new way of doing it, whereas this one, it was 2020, I think, for volume 2. So yeah, August 2020. So they've changed it just fairly recently. This is a fairly, 2020 August. So it's a fairly recently changed thing. Anyway, I have a package. Let's open it, shall we? Let's see what we got. So it's actually quite dark now, so I've put the light on. I think I know what this is. So I haven't ordered a lot of things from Amazon. Hopefully it's in good condition. Let's see. Ja-ja! It is Volume 2 of Ten Dance by Inoue Sato and obviously a Kodansha Comics. So very happy about this. Looks lovely. Ooh, nice. Nice. Lovely colour. Oh. And with this, I now have volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Volume 6 has come out, but I haven't picked it up yet. But this was on sale for £8.40 or 14. I can't quite remember. I think it was £8.14, and that's probably the cheapest I've seen it in a long time. So I picked it up because it's also got a verb. So I might read this in February. Or I'm probably going to read it. I'll read it at some point, but I can always read it as February's. I know I was thinking about Punch Up as well, but Ten Dance. And I've only read volume 1. I have no idea what happens after that. I know that it was in a BL publication and then it moved to a seinen. So maybe it's less BL-y, but the sexual tension between these two characters cannot be denied. Maybe it gets less as the series progresses. I don't know. But I think seinen readers deserve some sexual tension between men just as much as anyone else does. If you're a seinen reader. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. I'm excited about this. It's nice and thick. It's good quality. It's lovely. I bet you could actually, you know, see the professionalism in this. Look at that. Although translation just says Caris and Brendan. So not so professional. There you go. See, some degree of unprofessionalism in every outfit. There's always some. But yeah, happy about that. We'll see how this goes. So yeah, if anyone wants to do buddy reads at any point, Ten Dance. I will need to get volume 6. And I think volume 7 is at some point as well. But happy to have this. So yeah, I'm gonna have something to eat and then carry on. But I might read volume 4 tonight. I might not. I'll check in. You'll see in a second. I will predict in the future. I will have read it by the time you see me in 2 seconds time. So it is the next day, it's lunchtime. Unfortunately, I've only got 10%. I have been a little bit distracted by some things, like Can't Say Goodbye by Ed Finley. I am 42% of the way through. I've only got 9%, so I have to plug this in again. I, as you can see, have not taken the plastic off of this, but I think I'm going to do it just now. I have a sandwich toasting at the moment, and what I've been doing from getting distracted with this book and also an audiobook, went to the shops yesterday, got some lovely things, so I've got some nice tasty treats to eat. I have been going through my purchases, and it's been quite tricky because I haven't been keeping as good a track, and every year I say I want to keep a good track. So if I actually make the page up in a nice reading journal, I'll probably do a much better job. I say, fingers crossed. So yeah, and I want to do that to make it easier for me to do haul videos and things like that, as well as this kind of process at the end of the year for my year in BL review. But yeah, so I've got all of this done. What I've also done is make a list of my male romance that I purchased physically, or in Audible or in digital form. I also have I think it's just, yeah, a little the BL digital titles or Audible titles as well. So yeah, this is why that's 579. But I haven't totaled up these yet, so I don't know what my total is, and I haven't done the maths yet, and I haven't done all that kind of stuff, and I want to film it in the sunshine, so I'm gonna probably not film it today. I'll probably film something else. My computer is uploading a video onto YouTube just now that I can put onto my Patreon. So yeah, I'm doing stuff, but I will probably take a break for lunch and take this off and maybe finish reading it and eat something delicious. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Better plug that in now though. Okay, so it's been I don't know, it's been a hot minute. I don't know how many, has it been a day? Maybe it's been more than a day. Anyway, I still have my volume 4 here in its plastic, but I am going to make something to eat, tidy up a bit, and get the plastic off and finally read this. I have been, as you can probably imagine, filming my videos for the end of the year, my year in BL. So I need to get all of the things that I purchased and put them in piles and film them. And they're not very long videos, they're only like a minute long, but it does take a bit of time, and obviously it's the winter, so we've got very little daylight, and the last few videos have been done pretty much, it feels like in the dark. But I do have like a filter on my camera at the moment, so you can actually see, because without the filter, it's not good. Without the filter, it's pretty dark. So yeah, this is all my piles and piles and piles of purchases throughout the year. Not as many as before, but anyway, I'll leave that for the videos whenever they're made. I hope to do some editing tonight, but I will have something to eat because I'm starving. Hank Marvin, and get this plastic off and finally read it. I did have a bit of a chat with Katie. She was enjoying it, and now she's not enjoying it as much. And I was enjoying it up to a point. I wasn't, you know, when I say enjoying, I mean, you know, mama. But I kind of allowed my emotions to ride out, and so I'm on that sort of like I don't care anymore, which is a shame. The only thing I really care about is how pretty it is. It's so pretty. The artwork is stunning, but yeah, she was pointing out a few things like the way that the characters are presented, and you know, there does seem to be a bit of a shift, and also things that happened after sexual assault. It's like, really. So I was like, yes, I concur all the way. So yeah, I do need to get the plastic off and give this a read, and then I will finally, so sorry, Feels like I've been reading this forever. Finished this mini vlog, which is not going to be that many. But yeah, and also I want to get all of these videos made. So yeah, that's what I'm doing just now. I did feel like I should update you. But yeah, I do want to just get started on that. That's probably why I want to get this vlog finished so that I can actually get stuck into making the videos that I want to make over this weekend. More videos to make. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I totally forgot to say, I also got distracted by that book by Eden Finlay, and I finished it this morning. I was like, I need to finish this, and it was super cute. I'm not sure if it's a 5-star. I'd say it's more like a 3.75. It's a male romance, and it was good. It was enjoyable. It's Eden Finlay, so it's very easy to read. I do like Eden Finlay's work. So yeah, but that's what I did instead of reading this. Sorry. So I've decided to finally get this done and read it. So I just opened it up. It's got a lovely colour image, but then it has exactly the same issues as the other one did, with double spaces after an apostrophe. Boo. I do feel a little bit more positive about this. Like, I started reading it, I'm just a few pages in, but I started thinking, you know what? If this actually had some twists and turns and surprised me and gave me some like, whoa, I didn't see that coming moments, I might actually reconsider this as a better manga. Unless, of course, it goes the prosaic way of, you know, exactly how I think it's going to go. But in reading this, I just came across and I sent it to Katie. It's too funny. It's too funny. This is the perfect line. This is the screenshot. This is it. I'm going to take a photo. This is too good. So yeah, I'm hoping that this will actually have some surprises for the last volume, and that I'll actually be pleasantly surprised by how it ends. It's still beautiful. It's very, very beautiful, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a good story or not by the end. We'll see. Okay, so there was a bit of confusion, I just have to say, in the third volume. I felt like some things were a bit like, but the way that he's talking, Yuto, it's like he's not gay. He says, but I'm not gay, right? I thought Yuto said he was gay. That was the whole conversation they had. Like, I know did he not say he was gay and that Yuto said, he was gay too? Wasn't this a whole conversation they had in, like, I don't know, beginning of volume 2? End of volume 1? I don't get this. I thought, then he started going about dating women. I was like, wait a minute. Is he not gay? I'm pretty sure they had this conversation. Have I been completely confused this whole time? I'm going to need to talk to Katie about this. This seems, what? Like, the whole thing was that they're both gay. Right? That was the whole conversation they had. I don't know. I'm not going back to reread it. No, I'll just carry on. But this makes no sense to change. No, I'm not. I'm too confused. I will keep reading. We shall see. So I have finally finished. It only took me 7 days. Technically we usually start around the 20th, and it is now the 27th and 30 minutes to midnight. So just under the wire. Just under the wire. It didn't really take me that long to read them. It just took me a long time to want to pick them up. I can't really say anything other than they're very pretty. They're very beautifully done. But oh my god, it was boring. The majority of it is actually pretty dull. The first couple of volumes, there's a lot of story. I mean, it's like it's kind of like a story of two halves. Like these 2 volumes, there's a lot of tension building. It's really a lot of exposition. There's a lot of introduction of characters and settings, and there's like a building mystery, investigation. There's always the threat of violence and all that kind of stuff. These two books are also written, especially this one, written in a certain way. The style, the drawing, the paneling, everything is very condensed and like there's a lot in it. It feels very much compact, like everything's been shoved in. And then these two feel very open and sort of like wishy-washy, and the paneling's different. It's very open. There's a lot less dialogue and discussion, and the dialogue that is there, oh my god, the dialogue is so kind of stilted and robotic. It's not good. Descends into very typical mid-2000s Japanese yaoi novel kind of territory, whereas this had like potential. Unfortunately, she went the route of, let's just, assault our characters, because that's what needs to happen. It did make me think of, and I don't know if I've discussed this already, but it did make me think of, the whole thing about, male fantasy writers or male writers who want the main character's girlfriend or sister or mother to be sexually assaulted and murdered in front of him, so that he has, a reason to rise up and go on this journey and become this, either vigilante or hero or whatever it is, as a motivating factor for a character. Whereas the sexual assault in here, you think, oh, is there a motivating factor? No, because nothing happens. Nothing happens. No, there is nothing happens in these two volumes. Honestly, like, what? And oh my god, the ending, guys, the ending. When I say I hated it, I hated it. Because it wasn't even a proper fucking ending. It was like a shrug. It was like someone just decided to go, so how's your story gonna end? Shrug. Bimyo. Meh. It was like, I don't know. I can't decide. I'm just gonna leave it open. The worst kind. If someone had said, like, what's the worst way you can end a story? And some can say, oh, it's a fairly dull, boring ending. That's fine. If it's a fucking ending, what the fuck was that? So mad. This story made me so mad. I am still annoyed at Mr. H. He can fuck himself. I'm so angry. This is a story which I do not recommend. But the great thing was they do give you oh, it's beautiful. It's lovely. So gorgeous. Pretty pictures. The characters in this and the characters in this are not the same characters. I don't know who they are, but they're not the same. We still don't know Dick's name. Oh my god, that was so funny. I love Dick. Yeah, wait. Apparently so. I didn't realise he wasn't gay. When he had this conversation, when they went to go visit the girls, and they were chatting about stuff, I was getting confused about who was saying what here. So I was like, who's saying who's gay? Who's gay? I thought Yuto was saying he was gay, which made sense to me. As I was like, yeah, if you were gay, you would definitely learn karate. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Apparently not. I don't know. I don't. For me, I was just like, oh, I assumed he was gay the whole way through. I just assumed he was gay. So this thing at the end, I was like, then what the fuck is this? I don't want to talk about it, so I don't want to give it away. But it's shit. And the way that it ends, oh my god, it's like a proper just shrug. Anyway, so there's this whole thing at the end. It's a big thing because it's based off of a novel. And then there's Aida, Saki Aida's comment, which is helpful to know. So Deadlock is a BL novel that was released in 2006 by Chara Bunko. And the original story was a 3-part work made up of Deadlock, Dead Heat, and Dead Shot. And following that, side stories, short story collections, and a whole second season, which brings the series to 9 published volumes in total as of the end of 2019. So this is just Deadlock. So this is just like 1 volume. And there's all these other volumes. All these other volumes. Which she's says at the end. 9 other volumes. Jesus. So she's like, for those of you who want to know what goes on with Yuto and Dick after they've left Shelgar prison, please consider reading the original books as well. Are they in English? No. Of course not. Of course not. Yes, June Manga chose to translate the manga version of the first book in a 9-book series so that you could, after several years, collect the 4 volumes that equates to the first volume of a 9-volume series, and you will never know what happens at the end of the story because they have not translated it. I'm assuming. I don't think you can get Deadlock as unless you can speak Japanese. You're on your own, Sonny Jim. Here, have the first installment of 9 so that you can just never know what happens. You'll never know what Dick's real name is. You don't know what happens to Yuto. And do I care? No. So this is my wrap up of Deadlock. Thank you, Katie, for making me read this. I'm not being ironic. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm very glad that you made me read this, because forever I would think that it was going to be a shit story and that I don't want to read it. And now I know 100% that it's a shit story and I don't want to read it. I would have always wondered. And to be fair, the first 2 volumes gave me everything that I thought it was going to be, and pissed me off in the same way that I thought it was going to be. And yet I enjoyed these 2 volumes so much more than this. This volume just was like, like, what happened in these 2 volumes? Nothing. I'm actually trying to remember what happened in this one. Like, it's all the aftermath and everything. And then, honestly, nothing happens in these 2 volumes. I can't believe this is like 2 volumes worth of story. That definitely is like 1 volume's worth. Compared to these 2, anyway. But yeah, sexual assault, trauma, that kind of thing is not something I enjoy reading most of the time, just because of the way that it's told. In some cases I enjoy it because it's so unrealistic. Like, what is that story? It's a digital title you can get from Sublime. The guy has to go around trying to find the man he had sex with at a masked party because the man has a magical penis. It's so perfect for him. He has a perfect penis. So he goes around having sex with random people to see if that person is that man with the magical penis. It's ridiculous. It's a stupid sex comedy. And there's all kinds of nonsensical sexual activities, including some degrees of assault. But that's so stupid that I'm perfectly fine with reading it. Whereas this kind of thing is, yeah, I don't like sexual assault in most stories. I feel like this story could have been told without, but yeah. But if that's what people want, I mean, some people like trauma porn, and I did say that about All for the Game, that it felt like trauma porn because it was one thing after another. Like, you couldn't just have one person be like a normal person. Hi, this is Dave. Dave likes to play football, five-a-side football on a Tuesday. He always orders a korma because he doesn't like spicy food. Dave's a computer analyst for you know, a very standard, you know, business. He doesn't really enjoy it, but he gets paid enough to pay his bills. Dave. If you ask him what his favorite, you know, band is, he'll go, "Oh, I don't know, Oasis." Dave, the blonde person. You know, there's like, you're not gonna get something. This is, I don't recommend this. I'm glad I read it, but at least I can cross off 4 volumes of Deadlock, and a buzzword because it's got dead in the title. Did I enjoy it? No. Do I recommend it? No. Do I think you should read it? No. Buy it? No. And the difference between, and the quality as well, there's errors. It's errors all over the place. Spelling and formatting and grammar errors. Oh my god. Fucking hate it. Fucking hate it. I don't know what we're going to read next month. Something good, hopefully. Something good, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I know what I'm going to be reading anyway, to some degree. I will probably read either Punch Up or Ten Dance. Something like that. I'm going to read something I enjoy. Whether that's for my own, you know, pleasure. I'm also going to read Twittering Birds Volume 7. And you know what? That's full of, you know, awful things happening. But it didn't ever make me feel bad the way that this did. I think I cried the first time I read it. Obviously, in the scenes that you know what I'm talking about. But it didn't make me feel anger and rage the way this did. I don't think. Anyway. It was very pretty. I hope Katie enjoyed herself. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Absolutely. I'm so angry. This angry vlog of me being angry for a week. Oh. Anyway, 36581. That's who I am. I feel like saying peace out. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.